Hi, welcome to the Weekly Wrap. I'm Cal Anderson, a local activist who's the host for this program. And you see here a rendering of our own High Rock Tower. And we're going to hear more about that today, and as a venue for an annual event. My guest today is Wendy Joseph.
Hi, Calvin.
Hi. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, Wendy is an activist and a Lynn Historical Commissioner in our city. And tell us a little bit about your background and what's coming up on Monday.
I think the background that people might need to know is that I came to Lynn about 15 years ago, and I've loved it ever since. I found a great community here, lived all around Boston, and never quite got the feeling that I've gotten since moving here.
Now, I know you primarily because you're an activist and you just seem to be always involved with things, but what do you do for your day job?
The day job is an art director for commercials, which is a freelance job. So I never know what's happening on any specific day too far in advance.
I see. So you might be called away to do a photo shoot for a magazine or a commercial or a major motion picture now and then.
Sometimes you get a call at 5 p.m. for a shoot that next morning at 4 a.m.
Wow. And you take care of what? Some makeup, some clothing, fashions?
As an art director, it would be primarily wardrobe and props.
Ah, wow. That's kind of what I did in college, too. Tell us about what's happening Monday.
Monday is the 7th annual Frederick Douglass reading up at High Rock Tower. It's a Mass Humanities funded event. Very happy that Mass Humanities was able to fund us again, especially with the humanities being defunded on the federal level.
Now, I understand this is the 7th year for this.
7th year.
Right. Now, in addition to a reading of a very famous speech by Frederick Douglass, who lived in Lynn, by the way, it's one of our historical vignettes. It's a mass reading, which means there might be, 34 different paragraphs, I understand, and up to 34 different people can take turns reading. So it's a community, true group event.
They call it a communal reading, and it is 45 different paragraphs. And what happens before the reading is the community celebration. When you come up to High Rock Tower Park, you'll see pony rides. We have free pony rides for the youngsters. There'll be a face painter, balloon twisters. We have local food vendors, and then we have a program of entertainment right at the bottom of the stairs.
Wonderful.
Right here.
You know, more and more time, we realize that in our city, we celebrate the 4th on the 3rd because it culminates with the 9 o'clock display of fireworks, which we do jointly over the harbor with Swampscott. But the nice thing about High Rock is it's right close to downtown. You got a view of downtown, and at 9, when the events are over for your event, you just stay up there and watch the fireworks.
Yes, it's beautiful. Not only do you get to see the fireworks without the drama of going down to Lynn Shore Drive if you don't already live there. No traffic, no crowds, and not only do you see Lynn's fireworks, but you can turn around and see fireworks from the surrounding towns all at the same time. It's quite a spectacle. You
know, last year I think I counted 13 separate other displays.
It's
as far
amazing.
away as East Boston, I think, and down in Everett and Malden. From up there, you can see all around. By the way, I do have to point out one of the set props is right up behind Wendy. Joe Spina, who is a host for one of our other programs on LCTV, Frankly Speaking, is also an artist. So he's painted a few pictures around that they use for set dressing, but he gave me express permission to use his rendering of High Rock Tower. And I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it's right up there.
Thank you, Joe.
Anyway, thank you, Joe. And I asked him weeks ago. He says, sure, thank you for asking me. So another thing we want to mention is for those of you who don't know who Frederick Douglass is, if you go right downtown and look on Lynn Arts Building in the Arts and Cultural District, you'll see a mural. And very prominently displayed right center top is Frederick Douglass alongside our Hutchinson family and a rendering of our tower. Now, Wendy's going to come back, I hope, in a few weeks, and we'll talk more specifically about the Hutchinson's family, Lynn's own abolitionist movement, and how it relates to having Frederick Douglass living in town.
I would love to.
Yes, it's too much for this program, but you'll be hearing more about that. So we're going to do that. In the meantime, we just want everybody to know that Monday, you don't have to get up there early. Get up there about 6 o'clock, but there's 3 hours of very much intense activities. There's food vendors. Feel free to bring picnic lunches if you want, but just come up and share the
Enjoy the show. As I say, come celebrate free speech with your community.
Yeah, because that's exactly what the speech is all about. So anyway, they got some other things going on this week. Can we do one announcement first?
Absolutely.
I'll let you do it if you want, Wendy.
Julia Green, who is the trash master of Lynn.
Recycling coordinator.
The note right now is to not put your recyclables in the plastic bags like we used to. They go straight into your recycling bin without the bags.
We've had about a year and a half year and a half of the new program, and it's working wonderfully, except it kind of leveled off. Recycling went up a lot in the first few months. The single most important thing that they're trying to do now is get down to having no cross-contamination, no plastic film bags in. So if you separate in your kitchen, use a paper bag, or when you go out to the bin, just dump everything in. Because there's mechanical pickers that pick through everything, and if a plastic bag fouls things up, a human being has to crawl down inside, and it stops the process, and they have to stop and undo the. You ever snow blow and hit a plastic bag? It's the same thing. It's caught up in your
And what's going to happen if you continue to put plastic bags around your trash?
Oh, well, they're starting to crack down. If you have contamination, they will not pick up the trash that week, the recycling that week. They'll give you a note, and you'll have to hang on to it for 2 more weeks. But it's just a matter of everybody getting on the same page. Now, we've got about 2 minutes left, really. We had such a good time talking about your event. We have to get to the newspapers. Now, today's newspaper, did you see?
I did.
You've been keeping an eye on the Swampscott rail trail proposal. Well, the town officials voted in favor of it a few months ago. Enough opposition of neighbors and citizens got it on the ballot, and yesterday there was a special election. The rail trail will be a reality in Swampscott, and that's, I think that's a good idea. And look, on page 3, there's deep reading about your Frederick Douglass 7th annual event.
Yes.
So this might telecast after the event next week, but in the meantime, people are seeing this on Facebook and on YouTube, so make sure you get to this event. If not, there's always next year. Now, Saturday's paper, what did we have here? Wasn't there something in here you wanted?
I believe it was the Zion Baptist Anniversary.
Yes. Where is that? Yeah.
There it is.
Here it is. Yes, it was Monday's paper. It talks about celebrating 115 years with prayer and song, the Zion Baptist Church. Now,
the reason why that is very nice to see is that this celebration is going to be with the addition of some youth from the Zion Baptist Church as part of their 115th year celebration. So
wonderful.
Youth will be up there reading some of the Frederick Douglass speech.
Good, it all comes together. Now, Thursday's paper yesterday, there was a headline about the domestic kidnapping, which ended happily. And on page 1, here is the little boy who was allegedly kidnapped by a family member in the arms of our own Lieutenant Michael Kinnick. And he's, I've mentioned before, he's my hero on our police force. You can look up Lynn's Finest and his picture will be there. What else we got? Oh yes, next week, David Simmons, local musician and activist, is my guest. And here he is in the look section, and he's celebrating a night in Nahant, which is an annual summer party fundraiser for Lynn Arts. What else we got? You know, we got about 1 minute left. Any other announcements, Wendy?
Just have a very good and safe holiday weekend.
Yeah, and remember, you don't have to go anywhere if you live in Lynn because we're already here.
We are already
All right.
here.
And you watch the show. You know how we close.
I do.
Are you ready to bring us home?
I am.
Thank you.
Until next time, and every day, in every way and every day, keep loving Lynn.